Hello and welcome to another class of the Scriptcase Fundamentals training. In this class I will be showing you how to use and apply links within the grid application. Application links are an easier way to connect two or more applications. Within Scriptcase, this can be easily achieved, including the addition of link parameters which allow the passing of data via the URL link, which may be required in various scenarios. The Scriptcase grid application has 4 different types of links available: the edit link, the field link, the capture link, and then finally the button link. Let me show you how to use them within the grid application. I'm using the same grid I had used in the previous video, Grid Products. Within the left-hand main menu, you will find the Application Links option available. Clicking that will provide you the Application Links edit. Now here, as it indicates, this application does not have any links. Click here to create one now. So I will go ahead and click here. Now here within the Application Links settings, we have 3 types of links available. The button link is currently not available because you first need to create a button to use it. So to begin with, I will go ahead and create a new button and then return here once the new button is created. So accessing the left hand menu once again, we have then also buttons available. Clicking that and expanding, I will have the new button option. So I will go ahead and select that, and I will go ahead and create a new button called edit. I will select the type of button as a link also, and then select create. So now that the button is created, we can first of all see various button settings. So let's go over these first before we return to the application links. Here I first will have the display mode of the button that I have just added. It can be displayed as an image, as a button, or as a link. Below that I can also use font awesome icons. I can also apply a CSS style which is available. I can also preview the button, change the label, apply a hint, and also a confirmation message. At the bottom I have a button called link, which on clicking this will allow me to link this application. So within the application links we can now see all 4 types of links available. We now have the button link included at the bottom. I won't be using this at the moment. Let's go ahead and start right from the top, which is the edit link. The edit link is used to link the grid to a relevant form where you can then edit the record information and then return back to the grid. I'll go ahead and select that option and then click the next button at the bottom. After you've selected that and you've continued, you will then be presented with the applications list. So now this would want to link to a designated form. This being the products grid, I will link it to the form products also. Then when ready, we can go ahead and click the next button. The final step is the parameter definition. We have the product ID, which is the ID field of this grid. We then also have the type that we can select, and we want to use fields. And then we have the values available from the form application. Here we would then also want to have indicated the product ID. On the right hand side there is also a refresh button that can be used when a new parameter is added into the target application. So you can refresh the list here to see the new parameters and create or adjust the link. Once ready, we can go ahead and click the confirm button. Once confirmed, the link or new button properties are displayed. Here we can change the link operation mode, allowing us to open the form in the same window, in another window, in an iframe, in the parent window, or as a modal. I will go ahead and select the modal window, which presents us then with some further options. Now I will select to display the button on insert mode. As indicated, this option when enabled includes within grid toolbar the button add new record from the form. We can then specify a new label if we wish, a hint, hotkey, as well as the exit URL. Below that we can then indicate whether we want to close the form after update or after insert. On both I will go ahead and select yes. We could set specific properties to this form when it is accessed by the grid, such as enable or to disable some of the form buttons. But I won't change anything else for now. I will go ahead and save and then run the grid application. Within the grid application we can see that we have the edit link which we had previously added. To the left here I also now have an add new record. Clicking that will open the products form within a modal window where I could now enter some further information, save it or update information. Clicking the edit button will then also open the relevant form. Making any changes or inserting new records will automatically close the form on completion. So let's return back to Scriptcase and continue with some of the available buttons. So the next button available, or link option, is the field link. For this option, I need to select which field column to use. Selecting the drop-down menu, I can select the drop-down menu and select one of the fields for which I want to use as a link. When ready, we click the next button once again. We can select the application that we want to open. We can click next again, and again we will be provided with some parameters to include. When ready, select the confirm button and we can run the application again. Within the grid application, we now have the product ID which I had selected as the link. Clicking this will now open the form application which I had associated with it. As previous, we can change how this form reacts, whether it is open again within a modal window or within a parent window and so forth. Do notice that the product ID color has changed and that on hover the mouse also changes, indicating that this product ID is now a link. Okay, so we still have our edited button here which does nothing. So let's return back to Scriptcase and access again the application links. Now within the application links we already have two buttons available. Now here we have the button ID, the type of button that is added, the target application, as well as the properties, which we can then customize again, and also the link. So at any time we are able to change the linked application for the relevant button. So let's go ahead again and select the create new link button. And this time the next link is the capture link. Clicking that, we can then see the relevant information. This capture link is used specifically in the filter of the grid. Basically, it allows the end user to retrieve data from another grid. So I will select the field that I'm going to use. Again, I can select the product ID, click the next button when ready, and this time I will select the grid orders, which has an associated ID. Click the next, and now within the parameters, we have here the fetch field value. So here again, I would need to indicate any parameters that I would want to pass, as well as the fetch field value. And then when ready, I can click the confirm button. For the properties, I can only specify if this should open within a modal window. And on selection, I am also presented then with the width and height of the modal window. Clicking save and then run again. Now within the grid application, we need to use the search button. And now within the search, notice that next to the product ID, I now have a search icon, which allows me to retrieve data from another grid. Clicking and opening that within the new grid that I'm opening, I will also have a select field on each row. Clicking that will import the relevant information into my search grid. And just like that, we can retrieve information from other grid applications, import them into our advanced search form, and then search for the relevant information. Let's return back into Scriptcase and check out then the final button, which was the button link. On selection, I will be presented with the available buttons that I have added already. So here I have the edit_link, which we had added at the beginning of this video. On selection, I can go ahead and click the next button. Again, I simply need to select the application which I want the button to open. I will now select the form order details. I will click the next button and the parameters are then presented. If needed or wanted, I can apply parameters to pass from application to application. In this case, I'm just going to go ahead and click the confirm button. The final step, as it is with all buttons, is the option to edit the properties and specify how and where we want the form or application displayed. Again, I will go ahead and select modal. I leave all the options as default, click the save button and go ahead and run the grid application again. Now within the grid, we can see that the edit link button now functions and opens the specified application. Thank you for watching this part of the Scriptcase Fundamentals training. I hope to see you again soon in the next class.